Also memorize reports, so once you get one set up, you can memorize it. Does anybody use memorized reports? No? So say we did one of those reports for the customer list. And we wanted to keep this report so we don't have to go through all of that to filter everything. We can memorize it. If I look under reports right here, you see memorized reports, process memorized reports. There's different groups in here. If we go to the memorized report list, it's going to tell us what the groups are and what comes pre-memorized from QuickBooks. We can get rid of those if we want. We can delete any of those, or we can just make a new group. So if we make a new group, okay, I got my new group. I'm just going to go back to the customer list. I'm going to memorize the report, and I'm going to save that in my Meyer Farm report, and I'm going to rename this. Shared, subscribed. And if I want to change this header up here, I can do that as well. If I go into Modify Report, I can modify the header. And just rememorize it, and then it comes up and asks me if I want to replace it, do a new one, or cancel. So I can just replace it.
I have a quick question on this, just to make sure that I understand the sort of things that you do with this report. I hadn't really looked at before, but it looks like it could be really useful. Like, say I am looking to find out which of my members, so if I have custom fields in my customer, for my customers, and I say, I'm keeping track of these were people who were members last year. And then I'm also reporting, are they members this year? I could do a report to see like who is returned basically by filtering
on those custom fields.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a really good question to ask. I didn't quite go into everything. You can filter on more than one thing here. So over here, it's telling me what I'm filtering on. So I've got the active status, I've got full, but I can add more. So I can add any more of these. So if I want to add, say,
if you're selecting multiple categories, it can only list things that meet all of those criteria?
Yes.
Okay.
So I picked 2011 in here. So what I have right now is I have the active, the full, and the 2011 only because I knew that that was in there. So if I went down here and I said I wanted this to be 2010 and I hit OK, then he would go away because it's not both of those. So you can add as many of those as you want. And then to get rid of them, if you just want to get rid of one of them, you can just hit this Remove Selected filter and it'll remove one. So now if I close out of this report, we'll just memorize it one more time to make sure it's there. Then I've got it right here. It's right here. and I double click on it and it would come up. So as I add people, any more people that fall into those criteria are going to come up on this report. So if I put one more report under there, say I wanted also an accounts aging receivable report under there, and I want to memorize that and put it into my Meyer Family Farm report. And I have 2 reports under there, and I wanted to print them both at the same time. I can process the group. This is how the book tells you to go into it. This isn't how I do it. And in QuickBooks, there's 2 or 3 ways to do everything. So I'm going to take you through the way I do it. The book tells you to go into process group. We get there the same way. I go into reports, process multiple reports. They both open up this window. If I pick the Meyer Family Farm, I can display them all at the same time, or I can print them all without having to go into each report.
And for like if one of your filters is the CFA subscription year, and say for example that I have members who've been members for 3 years in a row, and I want to reward those members somehow. Can I do like a range? Can I say CFA subscription is, or the like member since is less than 2009 or 2008? Or do I have to enter like each year one by one? So I'm looking for 2009, 2008. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. And there is. So you can add more filters. So you can say that their start date is from 01/01. You want to do like the last 3 years, so 09 to 12/31/11. So we get 9, 10, and 11. Then that would pull them in there. And obviously Ken doesn't have a start date in there because he went away. But
how did you get it to display the date range?
Date range?
Yeah.
I picked from the choose filter, I picked the start date.
Oh, okay, there's 2 different ones.
And that start date is probably deceiving, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what that start date is. Yeah, let's go back into the customer. You will go into Ken. That start date is from this job tab info. The job info is usually for contractors, but you can use it for anything that it might be beneficial to your business. So you can put a start date in here, and you can put the start date that they started at your CSA, and then you can filter on that.